Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new on this channel, then please subscribe, and press the bell notification icon, for more gameplays, reviews and updates. Hellpoint. Hellpoint is an action role-playing video game developed by Cradle Games, and released on July 30, 2020 for PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, Linux and macOS. Hellpoint takes place on the space station, Iridium Novo, situated not far from the black hole. It was here that stellar humanity and all the nations of the Milky Way were supposed to find harmony and prosperity, but an unknown disease struck the base personnel, leading to the emergence of bizarre mutations, the opening of portals to other dimensions, and the creation of an army of zombies. You, in the role of a synthetic life form, must explore the labyrinths of the station, collect information and convey it to one of the last representatives of humanity, and your creator, the architect. Naturally, as you get to know the compartments of the ship, you will learn more about the previous tragic events, and the world of the game. Hellpoint is one of those games that take longer to review than the average indie title. And the point here is not that it is saturated with references to Dark Souls, packed with complex lore or complex levels with secrets, but because the game has so many things under its belt that requires longer time to render any opinion. As you continue to progress, you'll realize that the Iridium Novo has been overrun by zombie-like creatures, malformed humanoids, sentient night armors, floating specters, demons spawning from rifts, deadly bosses and more. The remainder of the story is told in a cryptic and confusing manner, often by way of random messages and logs, scattered throughout various locations. Like other Dark Souls clones, Hellpoint takes you down a path of trial and error, returning you to a local bonfire, the Rift. Here you can improve the basic skills of the character, as well as with the help of special items to synchronize this rift, with others already open for fast movement. But the number of synchronizers is limited, and you are still allowed to spend them at the very beginning of the game. Hellpoint additionally promises to offer alternative means of eliminating your foes through its itemization and leveling systems by using actions or currency. Actions you obtain from enemies you kill will be lost when you die, but you can pick them up if you return to that location. The game sets player the nebulous task of gathering data, in terms of goals and motivations. That's really all the game offers. Each new enemy type encountered, each boss defeated, and each interdimensional breach stabilized, Hellpoint's version of bonfire checkpoints, adds on to the running percentage count of data collected. Even though this percentage total gives players feedback on their progress, the game offers precious little direction to go off. Iridium Novo is immense, with myriad pathways, shortcuts, and both locked and hidden doors, connecting its individual environments. Even a singular area can have the player's head spinning, trying to keep track of where to go, where they've already gone, where an important landmark was and so on. With no in-game map available whatsoever, players have to rely on their sense of direction to stay oriented. There are also two phases during each orbit, when the station passes through the black hole's plasma accretion disks, causing additional events to occur. A handful of areas on the station are only accessible at these times, while other areas will suddenly become temporary challenge zones. Willfully transgressing into one of these will trigger a horde attack against waves of enemies, granting unique rewards upon completion. Agility increases damage from light, and fast weapons and strength allows for deadly, but very slow attacks. You won't be able to pump the build at the later stages, and creating a balanced character will give you a lot of problems at later levels of the game, since you will be good at everything and nothing at the same time. Therefore, the choice must be made at the very beginning, and you will learn about this only from the guides on the network, and the actual experience. A huge part of what makes combat so satisfying is the progression system. Not only do you upgrade weapons at terminals to improve their overall stats and apply mods, but using the same weapon for a few hours will start to unlock special abilities. There's a lot of weapon variety, from trusted one-handed melee items and shields, to massive hunks of metal and spears, all the way to railguns. It takes a while to find ranged weapons worth using, and to get your stats high enough to fire them well, but they can be very powerful, and change the pace of fights enormously. They all use your energy meter for every shot, even the thrown weapons, so they likely won't ever be your primary method of attack, since you need melee attacks to recharge energy. Checkpoints, called breaches, are scattered everywhere, but you've got to use an extremely rare synchronization item to open them up for teleportation between one another, so planning out which ones you want to use for fast travel is key. However, it's basically impossible to do that intelligently, without a map for planning. The result is that the fast travel system can't be relied upon, so I was desperately hoping to find a shortcut connecting back to previous regions, or just running back through entire zones to retrace my steps. When it comes to resources, there's no shortage of loot to pick up, and upon death, it all remains in the player's inventory, which is especially important, because that includes Axions, the currency of Hellpoint, in some situations. Axions come as either collectibles scattered across a level, or as loot dropped by defeated enemies. The difference between the two is that, when they are in the collectible format, death keeps them in the player's inventory, while the other method does not, and must be collected after death. Although the Hellpoint offers colorful and varied bosses, it is noticeable that the developers did not have enough budget. Some bosses are encountered later in the game, as regular opponents, and common enemies turn into enhanced versions of bosses, and this is disappointing. When you do eventually die, and you will probably a lot, not only do you drop all of your experience points, but a ghost version of your character in the area will start hunting you down. Your ghost will always be equipped with whatever you were using at your time of death, which can often make it extremely fun and challenging to take down. When it comes to combat, it is quite similar to other Souls-like action RPGs, with some omissions and a few new additions. Backstabs are entirely absent, though a forgiving block-based stun system is in its place. The core of combat revolves around chaining together normal and heavy attacks, with some stats devoted to the handling of ranged weapons. Combat in Hellpoint is its strongest aspect, but not for the reasons I expected. Moment-to-moment gameplay felt floaty and a bit wonky at first, especially compared to Dark Souls. Dodging is extremely powerful here and happens super quickly, letting you immediately evade attacks and reposition. Luckily, the journey is highly satisfying, as exploring the station is at all times a fascinating experience, in and of itself. The atmosphere is as fascinating as it is deadly, and it's further brought to life by sharp visuals that offer an impressive attention to detail, and a great sound mix that's generally dominated by scary environmental sounds. Much of what Hellpoint lacks in original Souls-like gameplay mechanics, it makes up for, with its stylish sci-fi aesthetic, creepy atmosphere, and relentless focus on making you uncomfortable. So that brings me to the last topic, whether to buy this game or not. Well, the answer is obviously yes. So that concludes my thought on this game. Thank you for watching, and if you're new on this channel, then please make sure to subscribe and press the bell notification icon for more gameplays, reviews and updates.